Folks, welcome back. Today we have a news and market update on all the things happening in the TCG world that you may or may not be aware of. And yes, I am aware that there is turmoil happening all throughout the globe right now, and there is all kinds of craziness and tragedies happening in the US right now. However, the TCG market continues to move forward, and surprise, surprise, people still need their little pieces of shiny cardboard to make them feel happy and joyful while the world is falling apart. Go figure. So, what I'm going to do today is keep my opinions to a minimum and just give you the facts. Keep you informed of exactly what is happening so you can make the best decisions for yourself with your money, for your collecting and investing needs. So, Surging Spark is the real deal. I'm just going to leave it at that, guys. So, Surging Spark pre-orders are still holding on TCG Player and eBay at $115 to $120 a box. Many stores have taken down the option to pre-order with them because they had too many orders coming in and they were worried they wouldn't get enough allocations from their distributors to be able to fulfill all their orders to their customers, which then leads to canceling orders and people getting really unhappy with you because then the prices on the market are way more than they were at pre-order and everyone thinks you're trying to scam them out of their product and sell it for more. It becomes a big mess. But that is happening. Also, I do a weekly podcast with Eli from Pokemart USA on his channel. He not only owns a game store, but also has a distribution program where many people pay him a monthly fee to be a part of the program and be able to buy at his costs from all of his distributors. Now, as long as I've been in the program and been doing that with him, there's never been an issue getting anything you wanted Pokemon related pre-ordered, especially in Scarlet and Violet era. Pre-orders ended for Surging Spark booster boxes with his first distributor. Now, his first distributor is where he gets the best prices because that is where he has the most spend. Millions and millions of dollars a year. He's one of their top accounts in the entire region, okay? Which affords lower prices. They put out a notice in the program saying there was more pre-orders than ever before, and there is the possibility that they do get allocated from that distributor. Not 100%, but a possibility. And so if you really want to make sure you get all the boxes that you want, you may want to consider ordering from the second distributor. Even though the prices are a little higher per box, at least you know you're going to get the full allocation you wanted. And then we got notice this week that distribution number 2 has closed pre-orders for the boxes because there were too many being ordered and they were worried about not being able to send enough product that was ordered. And this is going to continue to happen more and more the closer we get to the release. Guys, this isn't FOMO, panic, rumors, any of that BS. This is real. This is happening. All right? We are in a time now where I've talked about it. We're in a very strong bull market, the strongest we've seen since COVID times. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is, people who used to wait on sets and they investors who would wait 3, 6 months, a year, 2 years to start buying product, they've now seen the success of Twilight Masquerade immediately. They've now seen Paldea Evolved get a restock, drop for a millisecond, and then immediately jet right back up to where it was before the restock. And they're looking at each other like, maybe we should buy at release. Maybe that's the new play. That's the new meta in the investing game. And now all of those people are starting to deploy their money immediately instead of wait. Now, couple that with just Surging Spark being hyped, being a strong set, being talked about everywhere. It's a larger set. It's going to want to be opened. We just came off having 2, semi-lackluster sets with Stellar Crown and Shrouded Fable. So people are ready. They are ready to spend money and open cards and collect again. And all of these factors is what's causing this, guys. And so, no. This is my opinion now. I do not see boxes being cheaper at release. I do think Surging Spark is going to stay over $110, $115, maybe even over $120 a box. I mean, heck, Stellar Crown, apparently most people in the hobby dislike, and it's holding at $107 a box on TCG Player still this long after release. Apparently Terapagos, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur are enough to carry that set. If that's enough to carry that set, do you really think Surging Spark is going to fall to $107 a box? you're out of your mind, right? You're completely out of your mind. You're living in fairy tale land if you don't think this box is going to be astronomically priced after release. Just throwing it out there, okay? So take all that information for what you will, do with it what you will, and I wish you all the best of luck heading in to the holiday season. Stellar Crown, we just talked about it, doing extremely well for being a lackluster set, as we're told, performing well. Temporal Forces, next $120 box. I think there's only one listing left under $120, and then everything else is $119.95, $119.99, etc. Obsidian Flames, another $120 box. Same thing. There's like one listing left under $120, and everyone else is at $120. So now we have two more boxes reaching the $120 mark. Meaning, if you would have bought them at pre-release or at release at $100, you are now up 20+% on your money within the first year. This is happening, guys. Bull market, full strength. Told you this was coming. Twilight Masquerade, still doing extremely well. $145 a box. Still selling. Still being opened. Still being loved. Greninja, still the highest dollar chase card in the entire era by far. The next one is like, I think the Charizard from 151 at like maybe 130. I mean, the Greninja's over double that. So the Greninja is still over double the highest value card in the entire era. And so Twilight Masquerade, extremely strong. Paradox Rift. If you guys don't remember Paradox Rift, all right, I made a link in one of my videos last like Black Friday, Christmas time, and my local card shop, right, was running this deal, and they even had it on their website, which you could have bought from as well, even if you weren't local, for $75 a Paradox Rift booster box. I got a case for $450, okay? Recently, there were more sales for cases at $480 and $510, which is like $80, $85 a box. Sell on TCG Player, go look at the sales, $106 a box. Doing extremely well. There's a lot more product, it seems, of Paradox Rift, so I think it's going to continue to trail sets like Temporal Forces for a little bit, but once that supply dries up, the set is strong enough and deep enough, I think it's going to have a good run as well going into 2025. That's my opinion. What do we got after that? Scarlet Violet base set, still lackluster. The thing is, though, that already got its reprint, so it already had a huge amount of supply dumped on the market. That's one of the reasons it's lower. I get it's one of the more lackluster sets, but Obsidian Flames is, by definition, the worst set in the era in terms of overall value of the cards in the set and how many cards are in the set that are actually hits. By those two statistics, it's actually the worst set. So I don't think Scarlet and Violet is out of the running because it's not the greatest set. I think it will have good moves in the future once the supply runs dry, once maybe some of the cards in the set catch fire again, get collected. And so I'm still holding my Scarlet Violet base, not expecting it to be like, a home run or a grand slam. I think it'll do well, though, especially if you got the right price. And then Paldea Evolved. There were people out there thinking this restock was going to push Paldea Evolved under $100. They thought they were going to pick Paldea Evolved up for in the 90s. Paldea freaking Evolved, guys. Come on. No, that didn't happen. The restocks were announced. The restocks have already started to come, and stores have already got their hands on them. There were some people that tried to fire sale, some of the independent sites like $120, $129.99 a box. On TCG Player, prices dropped in like the low to mid 130s. Snapbot. Everything sold out. Paldea Evolved jumped back on TCG Player, $145 a box. Like nothing ever happened. And the reason this happened is, like I told you before, all the investors on the sidelines, right, who want to wait for everything to crash when the reprints come, they finally figured out, wait a second, maybe this isn't going to crash. This might be my one chance to get into Paldea Evolved. And so they all deployed all their capital they were sitting on and bought up Paldea Evolved before it went back up. So honestly, because the restock was so small, I think we could actually see Paldea Evolved push higher than it ever has been. We could see this now run into the 150s, 160s, even up to 170 by Christmas time, end of the year. That's just my opinion, but the facts are the restock has been eaten up like no other. Hasn't affected the price whatsoever, and Paldea Evolved is still going strong. It's still one of the most open sets on my live streams when I have it available, and so Nothing to see there. Sword and Shield era, I think the bleeding has stopped, I would say. A lot of the negativity is starting to kind of wind down. We're starting to see all the cards that had their major drops go stagnant. We're starting to see a lot of the booster boxes no longer drop anymore and start to have some rebounds. And I do believe a lot of Sword and Shield era products are pickups. I believe the alt arts are becoming pickups again. We're starting to see the Moonbryon already recover. It's not at its all-time highs yet, but it's much higher than it was just a month, 2 months ago. And some of the other alt arts are now starting to bounce off their plateaus that they reached, their new lows. They're starting to bounce off a little bit. Some of the booster boxes are already starting to rise again. You saw Lost Origin, Chilling Reign, Fusion Strike. They dipped down in near $200. They're starting to bounce off that again, back in the 210, 220 range. And we're even seeing new heights reached by, things like Sword and Shield base set. We're seeing, Darkness Ablaze get up into the 150s, almost $160 again. And so everything is Sword and Shield. The bleeding has stopped. If you're wanting to pick it up, I think now is a good time because I don't see it continuing to drift lower, especially with how strong the market is going into the holiday season as well. And then Sun and Moon XY, I'm not going to beat a dead horse with those. I made a whole video about that. They're doing extremely well. We're seeing 20 to 50% gains on a lot of those boxes and cards. Latios just had an auction sell for $3,000 in a PSA 10. We've had a sale on TCG Player of a $3,000 team-up box, as well as multiple $2,500 team-up boxes. Everything across the whole market, in Modern at least, is all bullish, right? It's all moving up in unison, just like we saw similar to COVID times. Which begs the question, was it really all just Logan Paul, some YouTuber that has a lot of followers, opening up a first edition box on camera? Was it really the government giving everybody $1,400 stimulus checks? Is that enough to do all of that? Was it really people just being stuck at home with their families and wanting to open Pokemon cards? Or was it a little bit of just the bull market being so strong and values rising and people gaining confidence because they're doing well in the hobby? Because a lot of the same characteristics of that time we're seeing now. Now, people can say, well, Alex, doesn't that mean a crash is coming? Maybe. Maybe we run this into, Q1, Q2 of next year and everything reaches new highs and then we have a little bit of a fall off or a crash. I don't know. What I'm saying, though, is it seems like there's forces in this market that are driving it, and the strength of this market is similar to those times, and it maybe wasn't all because of some of the factors that everyone thought it was. Just a thought to throw out there. Now, what are some things to pick up right now? Well, if you didn't pick up Surging Spark, I don't know what to tell you there. I think in X, Y, and Sun and Moon, hear me out here. A lot of the boxes have already jumped. A lot of the hits have already jumped. There still are some hits in there. If you want to go and start diving through the XY and the Sun and Moon hits, and I'm not talking about going deep in the sets and looking at cards and Pokemon nobody wants. I'm talking about some of the major hits have suspiciously not moved, and I don't know why. The only thing I can think is the market got it wrong. The market has not caught up to it yet. Things like the Arceus Dialga Palkia, that Stone Sculpture tag team card, right? That hasn't seen a lot of move when a lot of the other tag teams are reaching their all-time highs or getting close to their all-time highs. Why is that, right? And the same thing can be said for multiple cards in Sun and Moon and XY. And so that might be a play, is going through and combing through those and trying to pick out some of the popular cards and popular Pokemon, the top hits, that may have not seen a recovery yet, but the other ones, similar cards have, that maybe the market just hasn't gotten to those yet. So that could be a play. I still think alt arts are a play. I think a lot of these Sword and Shield boxes that are still holding in the 100s, like the Silver Tempest, Astral Radiance, and Brilliant Stars, even Battle Styles, may be a play, right? And then, Scarlet Violet era, I hate to say base set, but I think base set at the price point it is, it's very low risk, especially since it's already had a reprint. I think Paldea Evolved, you can shop around and still find those boxes cheap. I truly believe, and I know we haven't even seen Surging Spark or the last 4 sets, right? Mainline sets. I still believe Paldea Evolved is going to be one of the top half sets. There's 12 mainline sets in an era. I think Paldea Evolved will be one of the top 6. That's my opinion. That's why personally I would want to have at least some position of Paldea Evolved going forward. Paradox Rift, extremely strong set, extremely undervalued because of the supply right now. If you can find that, I think that's still a good pickup. And guys, enjoy it, right? Enjoy these times. These times will not be around forever, right? These kind of bull markets where you can literally click on any single booster box in the past 10 years and every single one of them is up this year, this will not be around forever, right? Enjoy it. Enjoy your collections going up in value. Enjoy being able to sell off parts of your positions when you want to at profits to be able to do other things in your life or be able to pick up other things at, at cheap costs at release or whatever. Enjoy these times because we won't have them forever. Also, what do I think going into this Christmas season and next year? I talked about it before. Guys, don't save all your money for Black Friday. Odds are there won't be many things to buy on Black Friday. You'll probably find a few deals, but it's not like everything in the whole market gets marked down and you're going to be able to find everything for pennies on the dollar. That's not how this works. I think everything will continue to run up into Christmas season. Going into Q1 of next year, I actually think the run will continue. I don't think it'll cool off after the holidays, and I'll tell you why. It's not Alex trying to cause FOMO or pump his investments. It's because you're going to have more certainty in the market. Markets like certainty. They do not like uncertainty. The stock market doesn't like it. The real estate market doesn't like it. They like knowing what's coming, right? So once we have the presidential election over, that'll cause a lot of people's emotions to come down and relax, right? Hopefully, some of the incidents happening all throughout the world start to calm down and relax. The wars die down. There will always be conflicts between countries, but hopefully it's not newsworthy conflicts every day, and that dies down, right? Hopefully some of these, by then, a lot of these natural disasters will be coming to an end. All of the people affected by the hurricanes and the floodings down in the southeast, hopefully all of them, are okay and all their lives get back to normal. And then, the strike with the ports will be over. And as all these things get ironed out and come back to level, I think a lot of people will breathe easier, and that will even cause more confidence going into Q1 of next year because there will be more, everything will be like eased out and everything will be ironed out, and it causes buyers to not fear, spending money when there's not as much unknown out there. And so that's how I'm going to end things today, guys. Take all this information for what you will. I try to keep it as much factually based and less opinion based as possible. As always, my opinions do, find their way into it. But as far as, all the numbers and all the market data, that's where we're at. So good luck. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. Be back here in a new one soon. I'm out.